Aces Field here in Hicksville, Ohio, as we are getting ready for high school football action on a Friday night as the Aces take the field for homecoming 2018. The Aces back home after a successful road trip to Ayersville. They did pretty well on the last road trip, winning at Eden and then at Ayersville last week, shutting out the Pilots to go undefeated so far this season in the Green Meadows Conference. And tonight, well, the Aces are back at home. It is homecoming weekend. Holgate Tigers have made the long trip from Henry County to be entertained by the Aces tonight, as the Aces look to up their GMC record to 2-0 and their overall record to 3-2 and go above 500 for the first time this season. Hi everybody, I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Chris Warner on the camera up here in the press box with me as we are looking forward to a great night of football action. Cannot say enough about how well the Aces played against Ayersville last week. The first half was pretty much what we expected, a rock'em sock'em, low-scoring dogfight of a game between two GMC inter-county rivals. But the Aces came out after halftime and they were ready to play. I don't know what they talked to them about in the locker room, but Coach Smith ought to bottle that speech because the Aces came out and took no prisoners. They rattled off a whole bunch of points to walk away when all was said and done with a 43-0 victory over the Pilots. It's been a rough start for the Holgate Tigers. They'd like to get on the winning track and pick up a win here tonight to even up their GMC record at 1-1. They got waylaid last week. So, yeah, they are looking to put one in the win column. Their head coach is Colton Wagner, and, of course, Lucas Smith, head coach for the homestanding Hicksville Aces. As we mentioned, it is homecoming weekend, and, of course, we'll have some extra special stuff coming your way at halftime. Not only the band performances, but they had the annual homecoming pep rally at the school today, and Chris and I were over at the fairgrounds before the parade interviewing the Queen and members of the court and the King and so forth. The court and the homecoming King and Queen for this year. The homecoming Queen this year is senior Caitlin Bergman, and senior Michael Myers is the homecoming King. And then for the rest of the court, the senior attendant is Angela Betts and her escort Zach Brickle. Junior attendant is Maddie Lister, Ethan Coplin, her escort. The sophomore attendant, Kelsey Monroe, Boston Hootman is her escort, and Emily Taylor, the freshman attendant, with Kyler Baird, her escort. And of course, Kyler, Boston, and Zach Brickle, all members of the football team. So we will maybe be calling their names tonight. Wait and see. The Aces are going to receive to start the game. The Tigers won the toss and deferred to the second half. So they will tee things up. Small school and a small football team. Their kicker, number 64, is Brandon Hohenberger. And we're ready to get things started. So glad to have you with us as week number 5 of the season is underway. Scooped up by number 7, Landon Turnbull. Turnbull, a couple of nice moves and powers forward to the 30-yard line, and that's where the Aces will set up shop for their first offensive series of the night. Our football broadcast is underwritten tonight, of course, by our good friends, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, and Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. And also, Community Memorial Hospital, celebrating 65 years of serving the Hicksville area. Reminding you that their health fair coming up October 18th, 19th, and 20th in the hospital's community room. All right, here we go. Jake Miller pitches out. That's Parker Thiel. Thiel turns the corner, goes up the sideline, and steps out close to first down yardage. We'll see if the Aces are going to move the chains here, or if they're going to be left with a second and short. It looks like Parker got forced out about 2 yards shy of the stick. So that'll make it 2nd and 2 for the Aces. Beautiful night for football. Nice breeze blowing. We were worried about possibly seeing some of the wet stuff, but didn't materialize. Mason Comiso with a nice hole. Comiso outrunning the pack. Comiso heading for the goal line. Comiso brought down, and I think he's going to be just shy. Mason Comiso took the handoff and exploded through the center of the defensive line, and then it was just a foot race. It took 3 Tigers, and they finally corralled him and brought him down at about the 2-yard line, it looks like, where the Aces have a first and goal. Miller's going to give it back to Comiso. Comiso bangs into the end zone, and just like that, the Aces take an early lead, 6-0. Over the Holgate Tigers. Now we'll see what they're going to want to do in terms of their extra point. And it looks like they are going to go for 2. Miller out to Comiso. Comiso cutting towards the end zone. He's in, and it's good. 2-point conversion is a success. Aces go up 8-0. And it only took them 30 seconds to do so. So the Aces will get ready to kick the ball off to the Tigers, and Holgate will prepare for their first offensive series of the evening. And hopefully they're going to be able to hit back right away. Otherwise, it could wind up being a long night for the Tigers here at Aces Field tonight. So the Aces will break huddle. And they'll get ready to kick it off to the Tigers for the first time tonight. Elias Delagrange, the Aces kicker. Back deep for the Tigers is Hunter Gerschultz, number 12, and number 22, Cole Snyder. Delagrange peers down the field, low kick and along the ground, bouncing along, and it's going to be falling on at about the 26-yard line, it looks like. Or are they going to say the ball went a little further than that? Looks like they're going to mark it about the 24-yard line. All right, I thought that he had his hands on the ball, and, well, we'll ding him back a couple yards. It's okay with us. So 1st and 10, Holgate Tigers from their own 24-yard line. With 11:29 to go in our opening quarter here tonight. Homecoming football for the Hicksville Aces. Screen pass and some running room. That was Ethan Altman, number 27, the junior wide receiver, who gets first down yardage for the Tigers. Their quarterback, by the way, number 42, is Gavin Kupfersmith, excuse me. Or at least that's who was taking the snap that last play, Cooper Smith. Works out of the shotgun. And another screen pass. This one again caught by Altman. And again, Altman, nice gain. He gets out to about the 47-yard line before they take him down. Not quite enough for a first down, but that'll bring up second and short with about a yard to go. So 9-yard catch and run from Altman. As the Tigers offense looking good early on here this evening. Cooper Smith, quarterback keeper, nothing doing. The Aces sniffed that out, and they're going to bottle him up at about the 45-yard line for a loss of a couple. That'll bring up third and about 3. So nothing doing on the quarterback keeper as the Aces defense rises to the challenge. Tigers will break huddle. Cooper Smith in the shotgun again. Looking downfield, doesn't see anything. Now he's going to scramble around in the pocket, puts the ball in the air, off the hands and incomplete. Intended receiver number 23, Ben Like, the 5'9" senior receiver. Like had it bounce off of him and ball incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th and 3. And the punting unit comes on. And Snyder gets the snap, gets his foot into it, a nice punt. Goes past the deep men and bounces through the end of the end zone. So got a little help from the wind there. That's the direction the wind is blowing, and it is a pretty stiff breeze. So the ball gets caught in the breeze and goes out of the end of the end zone. So the Aces will get the touch back, and they'll take over on the 25-yard line. On the 20-yard line, okay. First and 10 Aces. Jake Miller with the snap. Miller hangs on to it himself. Nice slant route. Miller finds another hole. Shakes and bakes across the 35, and he'll get thrown out at about the 36-yard line. That'll be good for a first down. 16-yard carry for Mr. Miller. Stops the clock going out of bounds, and the Aces will reset. First and 10 on their own 36. Comiso the split back next to Miller. Puts a man in motion. Hands off to number 8, Braden Langham. Langham powers forward to about the 42, 43-yard line. Pickup of about 6 or 7. They're going to give him 7 yards to make it 2nd and 3. Miller, quick hitter to Parker Thiel for first down yardage. Thiel brought down right at midfield. Nice quick slant over the middle. Thiel was right there, made the grab. Wasn't able to get many yards after the reception, but gets enough for the first down. So they'll move the chains, and the Aces keep the drive alive. Up 8-0 here in our first quarter of action. And that's going to be 5 the easy way, as the hard snap gets number 60. That's Owen Fry to jump for the Tigers makes a little contact across the neutral zone, so 5 yards for the Aces to make it 1st and 5 as they'll advance the ball to the Tigers' 45-yard line. Miller hands off to Comiso. Spin move for Mason. And finally, about 10 guys jump on top of him to bring him down at about the 37-yard line of the Holgate Tigers. He worked up a head of steam. He had those legs churned, and he was not going to stop for anything. And they finally bring him down just by sheer weight of numbers. So ball going to be placed at the 38. I stand corrected. I was a yard off. 1st and 10 for the Aces. Hold up play. Let the Holgate substitute their personnel in. Jake Miller in the shotgun puts Thiel in motion. Fakes the pitch back to Thiel. Rolls out to the other side. Ball's caught by Gipple. Gipple shakes one man. Powers down to the 25-yard line. And he'll be brought down. They might even mark him at about the 24. Jonah Gimple with a nice catch. As the Aces sort of spreading it around offensively here tonight. Early on. We'll usually call Mason Comiso's name a lot and Parker Thiel's, but tonight we've also been able to feature Braden Langham and Jonah Gipple. Lateral out, and that one's going to be caught by Turnbull. And Landon Turnbull on the sideline heading for the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown. No flags on the field, and Langham from 24 yards out into the end zone. Touchdown Aces. That'll make it 14-0. As Hicksville will set up for most likely the 2-point conversion once again. Jake Miller in the shotgun. Comiso offset behind him. Going to hang on to it himself. Miller dives across. Ball comes loose. And after he was down by contact, though, ball doesn't cause ground caused the fumble, so it doesn't count. 2-point conversion is good, and the Aces up now 16-0 with 7:42 left to go, still in the first quarter here at Aces Field on this Friday night. Glad to have you with us again. Beautiful night for football, and it's just been a fun day with lots of homecoming activities going on. They have a pep rally to finish up the school day, and they play some fun games with the members of the homecoming court and representatives of the different classes, and then so they have the parade. We always head out once they're getting ready, and we got to speak with all of the members of the homecoming court, and our cameras were rolling as the parade rolled into the stadium a little bit earlier, and they have the nice ceremony before the start of the game. We've got all that on tape as well. And we can let you know that they have a contest for which class has the best float in the parade, and this year it was won by the freshmen. Freshmen had the winning float. Hopefully Chris got some good camera work so we can get a good look at it. And we feature it coming up here. Another onside style kick, scooped up at about the 28-yard line. And nothing much doing after that. It was Cole Snyder that grabbed the ball, and he went sideways trying to get something to open up in front of him so they could make some forward progress. And he got swarmed under. So it looks like they're going to have the ball 1st and 10 right at about the 25-yard line. Cooper Smith going to work out of the shotgun once again. Another quick hitter off to the side. This one's just out of the reach of his intended receiver. and incomplete. And that was Altman who was going to try to make the grab, but it was just a little out of his reach. So 2nd and 10 now. Got something in your eye, or you just moved to tears by the beauty of the game? That Chris Warner was, so happy for the way the Aces are playing football tonight. He was starting to have tears of joy. Pitch out, nothing doing. Hunter Gerschultz, and Gerschultz has nowhere to go. And he's going to be dropped for about a 3-yard loss. During up 3rd and about 13 now. Gavin Cooper-Smith. Cooper-Smith gets the play brought in from the sideline. Clock running, closing in on 7 minutes to go here in our opening quarter. Cooper-Smith takes the snap, drops back, looks downfield, nothing there. Oh, and they get him by the ankles, and they bring him down for another loss. And that's going to bring out the punting unit. And here comes Mr. Snyder out onto the field. As that time, the offensive series just went nowhere for the Holgate Tigers. An incomplete pass and 2 tackles for loss. They back up, and they wind up with a 4th and 18. So that offensive series nets them a minus 8 yards in the stat book. Snyder, again, he's got the wind behind him. Nice bounce scooped up by Parker Thiel. Thiel heads towards the sideline. He's going to be corralled and brought down at about the 34-yard line of the Holgate Tigers. So the Aces are going to have some good field position for the next offensive series coming up. This has been a busy week for Aces sports action. Chris and I have been covering a lot of volleyball this week. There were volleyball matches Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Thursdays was really nice. It was a cancer awareness and benefit night. We raised a lot of money for a couple of local cancer patients. One from the Hicksville area, one from the Bryan area. Bryan was the other team involved in the volleyball meet. It was really a nice evening. It's kind of hard to tell which team was which because they both had the same color t-shirts on. You just had to look and see whether they were Team Holly or Team Rachel. That was the only way you could tell apart which school was which. But it was a nice evening, and again, a lot of generosity shown. Nice way to kind of cap off a busy week of volleyball. And football here on Friday night. Nothing wrong with that. Handoff. Still on his feet. And that was Zach Brickle, member of the homecoming court. And Brickle gets him a first down. Takes it all the way down to the 27-yard line. Oh, I take that back, the 21-yard line. I'm looking at the wrong spot on the field. Miller hands it off to Comiso. Comiso looking to get around the corner. Comiso gets out to the 20-yard line, bangs down there. He might have got a yard. Make it 2nd and 9. Comiso just not quite able to outrun the pursuit from the Holgate defenders. 2nd and 9 from the 20-yard line as the Aces look to crack the red zone. Now I see the Holgate band getting in place over on the visiting side stands. Miller hands off to Brickle again, and again the Tigers waiting for it, and Brickle only gets about a yard. Make out 3rd and 8. .4:15 left in the opening quarter. Jake Miller works out of the shotgun. Brickle behind him. And another quarterback keeper. Spin move. And nothing much there either. So that's going to bring up 4th down. And still about 8 yards to go. And we've got an injured player on the field for the Holgate Tigers. I think that's number 70, Freddie Alvarez, defensive lineman. Or it might be 79, Nathan Grant. It's kind of hard to see. He's sitting down. I can't really see. It's 70. I can't tell if it's 7-0 or 7-9. Chris is saying it's 7-9, so that would be Nathan Gran. So Gran down for the Holgate Tigers. When we get back into action, it'll be the Aces ball, 4th and 8 from the Hicksville, or from the Holgate rather, 20-yard line. As they get him up, it is number 79. Good eyes, Chris. And we'll get ready for the 4th down play here. They'll wait for him to, okay, he's off the field. Here we go. Aces going for it on 4th down and 8. Miller skying it out. Caught in the corner of the end zone. Parker Thiel, touchdown. Parker Thiel makes the grab, a 20-point reception into the end zone. Touchdown, Aces. So they're going to go up now 22. Oh, no, we've got a stoppage of play here. Flag on the field. We have not put the points on the board. We'll wait and see what the officials indicate here. It's going to be against the Aces. And it's going to be an ineligible receiver downfield, so that'll back him up 5. So that's going to make it 4th now and about 13, or 4th and 14. So they'll replay 4th down. Miller puts a man in motion. That's Brickle. Jake takes the snap, drops back. He's going to air it out again and again. A catch. That time it's Mason Comiso that makes the grab. And once again, touchdown Aces. 3:38 to go in the opening quarter. That'll make it 22-0 Hicksville as they'll get ready for another 2-point conversion attempt. The Aces are 2-2 on those so far tonight. Or 2 for 2, I should say. As so far the Aces have managed to score on every offensive possession here in this first quarter. Miller hangs onto the ball, rolling out, got an open man, and it's just that easy. Tosses it to Landon Turnbull, who worked himself open near the back of the end zone. And the 2-point conversion is a success. And the Aces go up now 24-0. Still 3 minutes, 38 seconds to go in our opening quarter. So we'll catch our breaths a little bit here. And the Aces will get ready to send out Mr. Delagrange to kick off to the Holgate Tigers for the 3rd time here tonight. Last 2 kicks from Delagrange have been onside style kicks on the ground. And they've been pretty effective because the Tigers have started their offensive drives right around the 20-25 yard line both times. So we'll see what they do for the 3rd time around here. As Delagrange will get it teed up. as windy as it is, he's not having any problems getting the ball to sit on the tee tonight. We've had a couple of games we broadcast where he was having a heck of a time. Delagrange is going to hoof it again. It's picked up by big number 70. And he powers forward to about the 48-yard line. That's Freddie Alvarez. We were worried he might have been the injured player a little bit early. But Alvarez, good hands as he catches it on the short hop at about the 40-yard line and barrels forward for about another 8. And it's going to be first and 10 Tigers from their own 48-yard line. By far the best field position they have had so far this evening. The lights come on here at Aces Field, and we'll get ready for the Tigers back on offense. Cooper Smith puts Cole Snyder in motion. Takes the snap, drops back. Got a man open on the far sideline, broken up. Intended receiver was, I think, Snyder. And a good job by A.J. Schooley getting in there and batting that ball away at the last minute. For the incompletion, 2nd and 10 now for the Tigers. Clock stops on the incomplete pass, 3:28 to go in our first quarter. Cooper Smith again working out of the shotgun. Looking downfield, not much there. He's in trouble. He needs to get rid of the ball. Intended receiver was number 27, Ethan Altman. Kind of a jump pass, but it was deflected by one of the Aces. Falls to the turf. Kind of a dangerous play. Those are the types of passes that you can get those volleyballs where the football goes up in the air and it's kind of up for grabs when it comes down. So they dodge the bullet there, the Holgate Tigers do. They don't turn the ball over, and they don't get a quarterback sack, but it remains 10 yards to go to move the sticks. 3rd and 10 now for Holgate. Cooper Smith looking downfield. It's going to get swarmed under and brought down at the 40-yard line. Aces just powered through, and Cooper Smith took a half a second too long. Couldn't get an open man, and he gets swarmed under at the 41-yard line. And the Tigers are going to need to punt it away. Again, with the wind behind him, Cole Snyder gets his leg into it. He could really send that ball sailing and hopefully pin the Aces deep. The snap gets by him. Snyder still manages to get it away. A nice kick on the fly. Comes down at about the 25-yard line. Parker Thiel reverses his field. Thiel, as a flag is thrown, Thiel across midfield. Thiel down the sideline. Thiel's going to take it to the house, into the end zone, but don't be surprised if it's all for naught, and this one comes back. There is a flag on the field, so we will see. It came from the part of the field where you would usually see either a hold or a block in the back. And everybody's sort of milling their way slowly back down the field. And they've got the down marker set up at the 42-yard line. But the official is standing all the way back at about the 27-yard line. There's one flag at the 27-yard line, another flag at the 31-yard line. So it's going to be a hold, and it's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Actually, there were two holds. So the first hold was at the, well, they declined the hold that took place at the 31-yard line, and they accepted the penalty for the hold at the 27-yard line, because that's going to back the Aces up to the 17-yard line. So that's where Hicksville's going to set up shop here. Jake Miller. Quick screen pass out to Comiso. Comiso tucks the ball under. Nice stiff arm. And he powers out near the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 42. So Mason Comiso just shrugs off that penalty. Gets back the lost yardage and a little bit more. And it'll be 1st and 10 Aces. So they move the ball out to their own 42-yard line. Still 2:11 to go here in our opening quarter. A lot of scoring, so Miller doesn't see anybody downfield, so Jake tucks the ball in and gets what he can. He'll take it out to about the 46-yard line. So 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 for the Aces. Miller, hard count, nothing doing there. Gets the snap. Nice throw across the middle, but Langham just out of reach. Incomplete. That'll make it 3rd and 7 for Hicksville. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit. You can tell when it gets really, really windy because you can hear the wind as it blows across our microphones a little bit up here in the press box. Get that weird whoo sound. Jake Miller fakes the handoff to Brickell, keeps it himself. Miller, 1st down yardage and more as he gets across midfield and steps out of bounds right at about the 40-yard line of the Holgate Tigers. So with the quarterback keeper, Jake Miller gets himself a fresh set of downs. Drops back to pass. Ball in the air and falls to the ground incomplete. Turnbull was the intended receiver who was cutting across the field, and he had a nice open area, but the ball just was thrown too far ahead of him. It got there first and falls to the ground incomplete. Second and 10 now for Hicksville after the incompletion. Thiel in motion. Miller hands the ball off to Parker. Parker, 1st down yardage, and he stretches out towards the end zone. Gets inside the 20-yard line, and he'll be brought down. Looks like about the 17-yard line, close to the 15. That'll be another 1st down for the Aces. Yep. Put it at the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. Keep that clock rolling. Under a minute to go here. Just about ready to close out our first half. Miller, handoff. And that's Brickell into the end zone. Touchdown. So Zach Brickell from 17 yards out into the end zone for the Aces' 4th TD of this first quarter. $30-0 now. The Aces are going to go for the 2-point, and now they're going to try to kick it. Delagrange gets his foot into it, and it looks good. It is. Elias Delagrange splits the uprights and makes it 31-0. With 40 seconds left to go in our opening quarter. So the Aces will get ready to kick it off once again. And go back on defense. And the Tigers, another chance to see if they can get that goose egg off the scoreboard, break the scoring ice, and try to start working themselves back into this football game. So the Tigers coming back out. Again, their deep men, number 12, Hunter Gershutz. And number 22, Cole Snyder. Another onside style kick. And the Aces, and they're still diving after it. And I think it wound up in the hands of the Tigers at about the 27, 28 yard line. Goes 10 yards, you know, it's a live ball. And they're going to spot it at the 30-yard line. So with 36 seconds to go in our first quarter, Tigers back on offense. Kupferstein powers forward after the handoff, or Kupfer-Smith, excuse me, hands it off. And they pick up a couple. Clock continues to roll, and we'll see if they get another play off or if this is going to be the end of our first quarter. And I think they're just going to let the clock expire, and indeed it does. So that's the end of quarter number one at homecoming night here at Aces Field. The Hicksville Aces leading the Holgate Tigers 31-0, the first quarter score. And as we get ready to switch ends of the field and get ready for the second 12 minutes of varsity football action here tonight, I've got some time to say a big thank you to our football broadcast underwriters here on Hicksville Community Television, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford. Of course, also the Jim Schmidt Truck Lot, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. In the market for a vehicle, whether you want one brand new or pre-owned, car, truck, van, or SUV, stop by, check out the great selection they have at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. And also Community Memorial Hospital of Hicksville, proudly serving the healthcare needs of the Hicksville area now for 65 years. Community Memorial Hospital with their annual October Health Fair that's coming up October 18th, 19th, and 20th from 6 to 10 a.m. each day in Community Rooms 1 and 2 at Community Memorial Hospital, with all sorts of comprehensive health panels that you can have yourself checked out. Invite you to stop by and take advantage. Health screenings with blood panels for only $45. Again, that's the Health Fair, October 18th, 19th, and 20th. The Health Fair, October 18th, 19th, and 20th at the Community Memorial Hospital's Community Rooms 1 and 2, 6 to 10 a.m. all 3 days. Look forward to seeing you there. Ball's caught out at the 30-yard line. A quick hitter pass out to number 27, Ethan Altman. Comiso was the one that brought him to the turf. They make the catch, but they lose a yard, so that'll make it 3rd and 10 now, as they're back on the 30-yard line. Half a minute now into our second quarter. And again, glad to have you with us tonight here on Hicksville Community Television. Hope you're enjoying the Aces football coverage. Kupfer-Smith in the shotgun Dropping back. Caught. Minimal gain. Again, it was Altman making the grab, but Altman not able to make much happen after the catch. Pickup of about 2, which will bring up 4th down and 8 for the Tigers. And most likely, we'll see Mr. Snyder coming back out to handle the punting chores. And now Cole Snyder is going to be kicking into a fairly stiff breeze. So we'll see how that goes for him. Gets it away, and not quite as far this time, as it's caught at about the 46-yard line. Parker Thiel puts his shoulder pads down, and it's the punter that knocks him out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. So I'll put the ball down, 27-yard line. Aces will have it 1st and 10. Miller. Brickle was split back beside him. Miller's going to hang on to the ball. He's going to take off straight up the field, still on his feet. And he's going to be down inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Aces. With 10:17 to go, as Hicksville's not wasting much time tonight. They're getting the ball and they're heading for the end zone. They'll officially mark him down at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal. Aces. Miller gets rid of the ball quickly. Open field and into the end zone. Parker Thiel. Touchdown, Hicksville. So Parker Thiel drops it into the end zone, make it 37-0, and they'll send Delagrange out to attempt another PAT. Ball's down, kick is up, looks pretty good, and it is. Elias Delagrange, his 2nd successful point after tonight. He's 2 for 2, and he makes it a 38-0 game for the Aces as Hicksville get ready to kick off once again to the Holgate Tigers. 10:03 to go here in our opening half, as the Aces are rolling here tonight on homecoming. Tigers still huddled up over on the far side. As things stand right now, unless they get some points on the scoreboard when we come back from halftime, we will have the running clock or the continuous clock going until the margin goes below 30 points. So as it stands right now, Tigers need to pick up 9 points before the half. Keep that differential at 29 points or less. Otherwise, they're going to be in a real hole for the second half of action. With the wind behind him, Delagrange puts his foot into it, and the Tigers are going to let it roll into the end zone. It looked like it was slowing down. The ball was bouncing, and it looked like it might have stopped before it crossed the plane. The Aces were going full steam down the field to try to get there before it did, to really pin them deep. But a fortuitous bounce for the Tigers, and it's a touchback, so they'll bring Holgate out to the 20-yard line to get things started offensively. Cooper Smith will work out of the shotgun once again. Man in motion. Quick handoff. Powering forward. Ball carried by number 24, Jared Nagel. And Nagel will get him a few. He'll pick up about, well, looks like a couple. Make it 2nd and 8. Cooper Smith once again, and another handoff. And again, not much there. Looks like he might have got himself another yard. Trying to power it forward through the heart of the Aces defensive line. And it's not meeting with a lot of success this time around. 3rd and 7 now for the Tigers as we go under 9 minutes left to play in this first half. Cooper Smith looks things over. He's got 2 wide receivers out on either side. Throw, caught, but dropped right at about the 25-yard line. So again, minimal gain. And that's going to bring up 4th and about 5. So there's a flag on the play, so we'll see. And it's going to be a hold against the Tigers. So the Aces are going to decline. I was wondering whether they would accept the penalty and give them another crack at it. They will not, and that will bring up 4th and 5 for the Tigers at their own 25-yard line. And in all probability, another punt. Their punter, number 22, Cole Snyder, got some quick instructions on the sideline. Tigers will break huddle. And it looks to be that they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Ball in the air, and it's intercepted by the Aces. Picked off by number 6, Gipple. And Gipple returns it to about the 35-yard line. So he had an open receiver and he put the ball in the air, but Gipple sniffed it out, stepped in front, and picked the ball off. And Gipple returns it to the 35-yard line where it'll be Aces ball, 1st and 10, with 8 minutes to go in the first half. The clock will stop. Been a long first half. Our camera guy just checking with me to see if we needed to switch tapes there, but we've got about 10 minutes to go, so we'll keep it rolling for a bit. Quarterback keeper, Miller, and he's brought down at about 35-yard line. So Jake Miller. And I'll make it 2nd and 10. Okay, there they go. So I was wondering, the clock stopped for some reason, and I'm assuming that was probably just while they were untangling things. 2nd and 10, and like I said, the Aces are going to let the clock roll here. Keep it on the ground and burn time off that clock. Well, they're going to go to the air. Miller skying it out, and he overthrows Parker Thiel. Incomplete, so that'll make 3rd and 10 for the Hicksville. Clock will stop on the incompletion with 7:13 to go in the half. Aces will come up to the line. A 3rd and 10 play on the Holgate Tigers 35-yard line. Jake Miller gets the snap, Quarterback keeper Miller off to the races, first down yardage. And he'll be brought down at about the 22-yard line. That'll move the chains and give Hicksville a fresh set of downs. And it'll keep the clock rolling as well. They'll stop it long enough to put the down markers in place. And start it right back up again. And again, the Aces are in no rush at this point. They're up 38-0. So they can run the play clock down and take their time in the huddle. Miller, handoff, Langham. Braden powering forward down around the 10. Gets across the 10. And Langham will get him a first and goal, it looks like. So 6:33 to go. We'll stop the clock briefly. Set the ball, and it'll be first and goal Hicksville at the Holgate 7-yard line. Fire the clock back up. Again, the Aces taking their time. Fake handoff on the inside to Langham, and he strolls into the end zone. Touchdown. That makes it 44-0 to the Aces. We'll see what happens with the extra point conversion attempt. And we'll take a quick break, and we'll switch tapes in the camera after that. And we'll come back to close out the first half and bring you some halftime entertainment. Some homecoming festivities. Delagrange out there to try the extra point attempt again. Kick is up and good. 45-0 Aces, 6 minutes to go in the first half. We'll take a quick break, switch tapes in the camera, and I'll be back to close out the first half of action right here on HIX-TV. We are back, and we should have enough tape now to finish out this long first half. There's been a lot of scoring. That's why things have been going so quickly. Not. It's our first half of action going over an hour here. Tigers waiting to get the ball back, take another crack at things offensively. They'll have 6 minutes to work with. Delagrange puts the toe into it, picked up at about the 15-yard line. Nice move, and still on his feet up along the sideline is number 12, Hunter Gerschultz. Gerschultz gets out to the 49-yard line. No, maybe not. We'll see where they mark him. I think they're indicating the 49-yard line. And we've got an ace down on the field. That is number 3, Isaac Ridgway. So we've got an injured Hicksville player. They are going to spot the ball at the 49-yard line of the Holgate Tigers. Doc Haggerty will come out to take a look at Ridgway. He's holding his legs, so I don't know whether he cramped up or if he took a shot. Oh, he's looking at his ankle. Maybe he twisted his ankle. So while Doc Haggerty looks him over, we'll pause once again, and we'll be back when action resumes here on HIX-TV. All right, they'll walk Ridgway off. It looks like I said either just a cramp or maybe he twisted his ankle a little bit. But he doesn't seem to be moving too badly as he gets himself off. And Doc Haggerty will continue to look at him on the sideline. And the Holgate Tigers back on the field and back on offense. First and 10 for them on their own 49-yard line. Looking to break into Aces territory. Cooper Smith. Long count. Bobbles the snap a little bit. Hangs on to it himself. Powers forward, he'll pick up a couple out to the Aces 49-yard line. So the Tigers will get onto the Hicksville half of the field. They haven't been there very often tonight. 5:35 and rolling on our second quarter clock. Heading towards halftime. Again, Aces Pride and the Holgate Tigers marching bands both here tonight. Halftime entertainment. Second and 8 for the Tigers. Cooper Smith puts a man in motion. Hands off number 22. He makes a nice cut and gets out to about the 45-yard line. So Snyder gives him a third and manageable, 3rd and 5. At the Aces 45-yard line. And down by 45 points with under 5 minutes to go in the half. I'm guessing this may be 4-down territory for the Holgate Tigers. See if they can get something going here and keep the ball out of the hands of the Aces offense, because so far every time the Aces have had the ball, they've gotten into the end zone. Cooper Smith handles the snap. Ball in the air, he's got a man, and he underthrows him. And I think the intended receiver was number 12, Hunter Gerschultz, and I think Gerschultz got so wrapped up with dealing with the defender that was guarding him that he took his eyes off the football. And when it dropped down behind him, if he'd held up and turned around, he could have probably backtracked and caught that ball pretty easily. And when he saw the ball fall to the turf behind him, it was sort of like, oh man. He had that kind of that body language, like, I can't believe I did that. Clock stops on the incompletion with 4:13 to go in our first half. Cooper Smith looking downfield, puts the ball in the air over the head of the intended receiver, and incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs to the Aces. Hicksville will take over 1st and 10 on their own 45-yard line. So the Tigers get to the Aces half of the field, but then they stall, turn it over on downs, and Hicksville will go back on offense. 1st and 10, their own 45-yard line, with 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in this first half of football. And again, this has been a long first half, but unless there's some big changes coming up, the second half is going to move much more quickly with the continuous clock. Miller takes the snap. Hang up, that's not Miller. They've switched quarterbacks. That's number 7. Sprinting into the end zone, touchdown. Landon Turnbull coming in to take a few snaps, but the Aces a comfortable lead, and he rumbles in, goes 55 yards into the end zone for the score to make it 51-0, and that only took 15 seconds. 3:57 left in the quarter. Delagrange out for another PAT attempt. Down, and that's good. Delagrange having a good night. I think he's 4 for 4 now. 52-0 as the Aces are just rolling here. And so the Tigers will get ready to go back on offense again. Still waiting to try to get something going offensively. And again, trying to at least get some points on the board to avoid the shutout. They only scored, I think they only scored 6 points last week. I don't have the scores in front of me. Though now that they've got the free Wi-Fi on Friday nights here at the stadium. Botched snap. have a bit of a conference here. So he had to re-kick. Evidently there was a foul. And that was the missed snap. So the point after attempt does not succeed. So Delagrange, instead of being 4 for 4, is now 3 for 4. Still 3:57 to go in this opening half. And with the failed attempt, it's now 51-0 for the Aces. And as we said, it's been a lengthy first half with all the scoring going on, but coming up in the second half, we'll have the running continuous clock, unless Holgate can score enough points to bring the difference in scoring to 29 points or less, which means that the second half is going to go considerably faster than the first half has gone. Tigers will break huddle, and they'll get ready to get the ball back and go back on offense. Aces crowd in pretty good mood here tonight. They're winning this game handily, and that's the way you like to see things. Going to be everybody in good spirits for homecoming. Delagrange puts his foot into it again, takes advantage of the wind, goes over the head of the Holgate deep man. They scoop it up back at about the 5-yard line, and they run into a world of trouble. Looks like they get out to about maybe the 7 or the 8-yard line. I think that was, oh, I'm looking at the wrong roster. I almost said A.J. Schooley instead of Cole Snyder. But it was Cole Snyder battling that football back out. And we'll see where they mark it officially. It looks like about the 9-yard line. Now they're going to say the 8-yard line. So the Tigers in a bit of a hole here. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Aces doing some quick substituting. They get him out onto the field in time. Cooper Smith stays on his feet, makes the catch, and I don't think he made it back to the line of scrimmage, though. Altman made the catch, but I think he lost a couple of yards, and he only gets out to about the 6-yard line. That'll make it second and about 12. Clock will continue rolling. And the Tigers, I'm going to be honest with you, probably could care less either. They just want to keep their heads held high and do what they can and bring this first half to a close. They're probably just as anxious to get off the field for a bit and regroup as everybody else is. Cooper Smith hangs onto the ball. Cooper Smith powering his way forward near the 10-yard line. That would be a pickup of about 4. They'll take it out to the 10-yard line to make it 3rd down and 8 for the Tigers. Holgate breaks huddle. Closing in on 2 minutes to go in the half. Cooper Smith gets the snap. Nice route, nice catch. Should be first down yardage. Cole Snyder makes the grab out at the 20. That should move the chains. So the Tigers pick up a first down, keep their drive going. They'll get the chains placed and fire the clock back up. 2:04 and running. Holgate breaks huddle. Cooper Smith working the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks downfield. Nothing there. Hangs onto the ball. Tucks it under. Takes off straight up the field. Gain of about 5. Cooper Smith couldn't see anybody open, and he just headed upfield. They'll drop him, they'll mark the ball just shy of the 25. Say a 4-yard gain out to the 24-yard line. 2nd and 6 now for the Tigers. With 1:15 to go, clock rolling. Cooper Smith puts the ball in the air, got a man open, and it's broken up. No flags. Intended receiver number 22, Cole Snyder. Aces were there to break up the play. The incompletion stops the clock with 1 minute exactly to go in the first half. Aces with a comfortable 51-0 lead. And it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Holgate Tigers. Three wide receivers out on our side of the field, one on the far side. Puts a man in motion, that's number 12, Hunter Gerschultz. And he's going to get swarmed under. Cooper Smith is. So Cooper Smith is going to get dropped. And that's going to be a loss all the way back to the 20-yard line. That'll make it 4th and 10. Fourth down, we'll see if they do another. I think that they would have to snap a play unless they want to take the penalty for delay of game. And they're standing around, so we'll see what they're going to do. It's 4th down and 10. And 10 seconds, and we'll see if they're just going to let the clock roll out and be done with it. And it's what's going to happen, yep. So that'll be the end of the first half. Time expires. We played the first 24 minutes of football here tonight, and at halftime of the homecoming game for the Hicksville Aces, it's Hicksville leading the visiting Holgate Tigers 51-0. We're going to take a break. We got some halftime entertainment coming your way, and Chris and I will be back. We'll have all the exciting second half play-by-play coming your way right here on HIX-TV.